It's Monday, March 6th, 2017, and finally, it's over. Jumbo has eclipsed the 1,000 in career assist mark. It was a game-winning goal. Okay, so it was an empty net goal for that matter, too, but how convenient for this season. Jumbo with 1,000 assists. We'll talk about that, and we'll talk about the Sharks' 3-2 win over the Winnipeg Jets tonight on Pucknology After Dark. Yes, we are here, we are live, and we want you to interact with us using the hashtag PucknologyAD. You can also join us in the YouTube channel or on the page or on the app. So make sure you connect with us. You can also check with us on Twitter at Pucknology, at PuckGuy14, at RBackhander76, at Hockey_Jerk. I will be, of course, temporarily filling the void of AJ Strong, so forgive me. And, of course, we are your live interactive Sharks post-game show. After every game, we're here, home and away, regular season and playoffs. For more news and opinions, hit pucknology.net, and also follow us on our social media channels, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, SoundCloud, Pucknology Writers Room on the YouTube machine. And with that being said, we also remind you that Pucknology After Dark is presented by Audible. We've partnered with them to offer a free 30-day trial where you can search up to 180,000 audiobooks and get a free book, whether you continue using the service or not. Log on to Pucknology After... dang it. Log on to audibletrial.com/PAD to sign up. You get a free book. You help support the show. Everybody wins. That's right, everybody. audibletrial.com/PAD. I keep wanting to say Pucknology.net. Forgive me. Hey now, it's Erica alongside Miss Rocket Backhander.
Good evening. It is I, Rocket of Backhander.
And everybody's favorite lovable jerk, Hockey Jerk.
Yeah, that Thornton guy, he's okay, I guess, right?
He's as okay as the world's okayest goalie. But moving onward, the Sharks win 3-2. They end their one-game losing streak. Initial thoughts from tonight's game, Miss Rocket?
I have to say that given that they took on a really difficult opponent last night, they looked pretty good. So whatever kind of energy management and whatever sort of coaching went on and planning into this trip, they did a good job.
Very much so.
They could have been a lot better, and they should have done a whole bunch of other stuff. All of that crap. But hey, that's for people who are angry. I'm not angry. I'm happy. So yeah, Sharks went out and did Shark things, and go Sharks.
And they shark won, right?
And they sharked it. They sharked the shark out of it.
That's right. What did you take initially from tonight's game? Wow.
How many more words are we going to make up tonight?
Don't make me shark you.
Oh!
Shark off. You know what? This game I thought was this game is the blueprint for turning things around and kind of getting everything under control, because if you go period by period, the Sharks got progressively better. I thought in the first they were outworked. I thought in the second it was relatively even, and then in the third I thought the Sharks had close to all of the pressure, especially in the last 12 or so minutes. Yeah, good game. You like to see the win. You like to see the milestone. I guess they can stop looking for Joe now, right? When the net is empty?
Yeah. Ironically enough, it happened with an empty net. So we'll get into that in just a jiffy, but first, we'll break it down as we go. 9:45 in the first period, Joe Pavelski from Milker Carlson and the future hubby of Rocket Backhander, Brendan Dillon, makes
Wrong.
it 1-0.
Wrong. I clarified this. All right. I've clarified this several times. I made a video and published it on YouTube about this breakdown. Okay. Brendan Dillon is my favorite Shark. He's my guy. I am a huge fan of his professional career. Hubby? No. I don't have romantic inclinations for him. Everybody who ever pays attention to me knows Paul Martin is the guy who I have the absolute hots for. I don't really care about his hockey career. I just think he's absolutely stunning, and I want to get a burrito with him. Okay?
Okay.
Carry on.
Okay, so so Pavelski got the goal assisted by Carlson and Brendan Dillon.
Woohoo!
To make it 1-0. Nice simple play there. Of course, unfortunately, not even 2 minutes after that, Josh Morrissey grips in and rips it for his 4th on the year to tie the game at 1. And I didn't think Dell had a chance on that one. Hockey jerk.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, you know what? It was a good shot by Morrissey. I thought, again, this goes back to the Jets, kind of controlled the play in the first period, and when they put the okay backup goalie who totally shouldn't deserve to play in, you always got to cross your fingers, right? No, I'm just kidding. You know what?
You never
That's
know.
the thing. That's the thing is, like, Dell lets in 1 goal, and I was waiting for people to be like, oh, maybe we should have done this. But no, I thought Dell was awesome today. And at the end of the day, like, 1 goal doesn't make the difference. Like I said earlier, this game was the blueprint for, coming back and, kind of turning things around, because we've seen it many times before is, the Sharks let in that goal, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, skates are on the wrong feet and they forget what icing is, and it's all sorts of
Wrong
shenanigans. Yeah, exactly. Had one too many Gatorade chews.
Moving onward. Second period, no scoring, but hockey trick, like you were saying, the Sharks tend to get progressively better and better as this game went on.
Yeah, and you know what? I think they had a lot to prove too, because despite what the standings will tell you, the Jets are a very young, very fast, very good team. And considering they just came off a loss, the Sharks came off a loss from or against the best team in the Western Conference, you had to think the Sharks were out to prove something. And it's been talked about forever now. The teams low in the standings are technically winnable games, if you want to use that term, which I hate. But it was nice to see the Sharks not, just roll over and let it happen. Like, they came out and got control of the game after they were down a little bit and really took charge. So it was encouraging to see.
Definitely. And go ahead. I'm sorry, Rocket.
I think that they knew what to expect with this team. I heard Pete DeBoer talking earlier this afternoon about how, on paper, Minnesota is just a powerhouse of a team, and they are exactly the same in person. But on paper, Winnipeg isn't much different than Minnesota's game. They're fast, they're brutal, and in the last 10 or 20 games, I think they have the same record as Minnesota. So I think going into it where both teams play a similar style, and getting the heavier team on the first night kind of set them up to be comfortable with how Winnipeg was going to play. So they just had a little bit more, familiarity with the situation. I don't know if I'm making any sense.
I think what you're trying to get is that they had a heavy, fast team in Minnesota, and Winnipeg tends to be a little more fast, if that makes any sense, where they rely on their speed big time. So I get what you're saying. On to the third period. It broke open at 7:26. Mikkel Bodker breaks up. What's that? Oh.
Don't worry about it.
Got it. 7:26, Mikkel Bodker with his 9th on the year, shorthanded, his first shorthanded goal of his career, and the Sharks' third shorthanded goal against Winnipeg.
What a stat, right? Five shorties this year. 3 of them against the Jets.
Were they all in waxing moons on a Monday night?
You know what? I don't know about that, but I definitely think it has to do with the brand of hair gel that Bodker uses. I think because when he goes with, just your normal store brand stuff, they're not really feeling the shorthanded mojo, but he gets the fancy stuff you can only buy online. That's when he's feeling it.
All right, so the red can gets him there, but the Tresemme leaves him stranded.
If you wanted more evidence that this is a Pucknologist takeover, that was a Pucknologist ramble session. Back to you, Puck Guy.
Ah, very nice. Thank you. I was going to say, until I looked at the schedule one more time, that all 3 Winnipeg games were on Monday, but the second game, the first one in Winnipeg, was on a Tuesday. So never mind that. Okay, so well, we'll keep finding if a full moon or whatnot
are my days off. So maybe just Shark Score shorties on my days off.
There we go. We'll have to check into that. So third period, we keep going. Joe Pavelski gets the empty net goal at 1934 to seal the deal. Of course, that was Jumbo's 1,000th assist. But but let's be real here, guys. In between that time, between Bodker's and Pavelski's game, the Sharks played pretty defensively sound, and Dell was up to the task.
Yeah, I thought, Dell kind of came in, and you had to figure that Dell was going to get a good chunk of starts, being that we are in the stretch run here. And he continues to show why it was the right idea to not go after somebody, because it seems like even in games where he maybe lets in a quick goal, or there's a goal that he theoretically should have, he still comes back and he's like, you know what, this is fine, it's all good. He doesn't freak out and let in everything that's shot towards him, and I really like the confidence that I see from Aaron Dell.
Oh yeah, I agree.
I mean, he stopped 31 of 33 shots, and that's just unprecedented.
For glorious saves out of those two. Holy
exactly moly. And it just seems like they've been going back and forth with like, okay, here we go, here it comes. You almost have that, okay, here it comes. You're just waiting for him to let us down, but then again, he makes a save, and not to get on a side tangent, but do you guys think maybe that Vegas might look at him as the guy they grabbed from the Sharks?
No.
Wait. Go ahead, Rocket. Sorry.
So I have a question. There's no room to use them English. Sorry. The way that the expansion draft is, there's not a template laid out where both goalies are protected. Like, you can't opt to do that.
No, it's one goalie regardless of how you slice it.
Oh,
so they got to keep Jones.
You know what? I still don't think.
I'd grab Budai. I'd still grab Budai.
You know what? I don't think Dell gets taken just because the Sharks have so many good defensemen on their team for the taking. I mean, there's all the there's Braun and Schlemko, Dylan, all of those guys, but like, I really could see Vegas take a chance on DeMello. I mean, he's proven he's an NHL caliber defenseman. He's young. He's got a cheap contract. I mean, it checks all the boxes, at least if I'm the Vegas GM, but I don't know. It's going to be interesting. Like I said, I think the Sharks will still have Dell and Jones for next year. I don't think they lose Dell.
It would be very interesting if he was available.
That would be a heartbreak.
That would be a rough one too. I was gonna say, and Sleepy Mofo will say this: the Sharks got a penalty late in that game before freaking Winnipeg scored to make it 3-2. Was that delayed game call against the Sharks because the team was celebrating Jumbo's 1,000th?
All I heard was that it's delay of game. I didn't hear what it was for. We'll go with sure.
They didn't. They didn't really specify on. I was watching the Winnipeg broadcast, so I didn't. They didn't specify on that either. But yeah, hey, kudos to the Winnipeg Jets television announcers. Those guys are really professional, and I feel like I learned something about the Winnipeg Jets without being, like the Sharks are the other team, and those guys are terrible. Man, and their fans are bad too. Like I didn't get that from them at all. They were very professional, and I like that. Sometimes it's nice to listen to the opposing team's broadcasters. You might learn something.
Yeah, no, absolutely. One thing that's coming down, and in how do I put this without, I have a soft spot for Winnipeg just because of what they went through and the passion that they have for their team. Okay. I like them for that, but and I'll mention this again. If the Sharks were to play the Jets in a playoff series, it's Sharks all the way. And so...
Are you sure about that? They
yes!
have INN in their name.
This just in... The city has changed their name to San Jose. There you go.
Oh, wow.
Anywho, one mention that AJ's kind of tweeting us at, if you aren't planning to go to Thursday's game, this might be one where you want to go. Apparently, the Sharks are celebrating both the Marlowe 500 and Jumbo 1000 with a puck giveaway at Thursday's game. I wasn't planning to go, but dang it. And what I find interesting is earlier they had the current Shark logo on the 500 goal logo. Now they've changed it. So they have the old logo and the new logo, which is very cool. Nice attention to detail. Nice job, guys. And I like the 1000 where the white where the white hair trail is going in. So that's going on Thursday night against the Caps. Great. I guess I'm going to another hockey game. Oh boy.
Your life is so terrible.
Just wait till the day after when they're on eBay for $1,000.
Day after? Try 45 minutes after doors open.
Exactly, Rocket.
That's
the cost
salad.
The cost of the pucks will be $1 for every point they have combined.
I will.
Oh, wow. AJ Strong, Bulkapuki, Puck Guy has a soft spot because they have iron in their name. No. Whatever. All right. Moving onward. So final thoughts on this game before we move along here. All in all, go ahead, Rocket.
No, I was asking you who.
Oh, Rocket. Final thoughts on this game.
Oh, my final thoughts on this game. Hey, dude, we're down the final stretch of what, like 16 games left, something like that.
Yes.
All right.
Something like that.
Okay, and this month is basically just hold on for dear life and try not to get everybody in the lineup injured. And as long as you get the win, that's good. And I'm not gonna poo-poo it too much because they won.
A hockey trick?
Couple things. Mike Neves saying DeMello shot the puck over the glass with 13 seconds left.
Thank you. I meant to mention that. My apologies.
Final thoughts. It was. I mean, I keep saying this word, but it was very encouraging to see the Sharks bounce back and get a win before they come home for, I believe, 6 straight games. And this 6-game homestand, I mean, it's not by no stretch is it make or break. The Sharks are going to the playoffs unless the NHL changes their standings order last minute and it's reversed. So that's not a problem. But, this could really, I honestly think the 6-game homestand could, either, I guess, cement or, piss away, if you will, the division title.
Yeah, I'm working on the standings right now to see where they're at, but the Sharks are in good shape right now.
Right, and I believe that Edmonton and Anaheim were idle tonight, but somebody in the chat can correct me on that. So after the Sharks win, I believe they're now 7 points ahead of Edmonton, and so 9 against Anaheim,
Yep.
maybe.
Yep, working on that as we speak right now.
Dance, monkey dance.
I know. Make your money, as AJ would say.
Wow.
Why? Okay, yeah, sorry. Moving on, Rocket, can you go over the scores from today? I think we had 4 games, including ours.
Yes, give me 62 seconds to look up the scores, please.
Right.
No, thank you.
While we're doing that, please make sure you subscribe down below or to the side. And if you missed anything from tonight, you can also catch it on the replay on YouTube. Or if you're looking for the audio edition, you can always find it on SoundCloud. Thanks, AJ. SoundCloud, Google Play, iTunes, Stitcher, you name it.
Are you ready?
MySpace.
Go ahead, Rocket.
Monday, March 6th, NHL around the league. The Dallas Stars versus the Washington Capitals with a final score of Dallas Stars 4, Capitals 2. The Bruins saw the Senators tonight and lost in a final score, Senators 4, Bruins 2. Rangers and Lightning. Final in overtime. Rangers 1, Lightning 0. And of course, the other only game tonight was Sharks versus Jets, West Side Story. Sharks victorious 3-1 victory. Da-da-da-da. And that was your Around the League look for Monday, March 6th.
Thank you very much, Rocket. That Caps Stars game, the Stars won that game, ended a 15-game home winning streak for the Washington Capitals.
Wow.
That's crazy.
I think this year might be their year.
With the addition of Shattenkirk, that I might be with you on that.
We might Sharks East might finally do something in the playoffs.
But they have to get by Pittsburgh.
Fuck those guys.
One of the things that's going on right now is the NHL general managers meetings, and apparently they split them up into 4 groups to come up with some ideas on ways to improve the game. Not once that there was too much mentioning of changing the playoff format. And I know we've kind of touched on this before, but are you guys good with this format, or would you rather it go back to like 1 versus 8?
Don't
go
ask
ahead.
me. I'm out of this one.
Okay.
I don't know.
Personally, I would like to see them go back to 1 versus 8. Just because, the goal with changing the playoff seeding to the way it is now was, creating rivalries. And obviously that's been done. I mean, I think Sharks Oilers is a building rivalry. Honestly, if the chips had fallen the right way for Detroit, I could see Red Wings Lightning be like the new Sharks Kings in the East. That is a pretty good rivalry in development. But at the same time, I don't want to play LA again, and that's not just because it's LA, but that's because we've seen them so much in such a short amount of time. And I liked I don't know if you want to call it randomness, but I liked different opponents on a regular basis. And when you did play the same opponent consecutive years in a row, it was all that more like interesting or exciting because it wasn't always guaranteed that you would play the same opponents.
Kevin Lacey in the chat saying the only reason that the playoff format exists right now is to get Montreal and Toronto to play against each other someday. That is the only reason why it is the way it is.
It
kind of makes sense. Like that seems like a very, very hockey decision.
Well, that's why you see, the Capitals and the Florida teams and the Hurricanes in the same division as all the East Canada teams, and then the teams in the middle are in their own division. It's like, that's not how geography works. You can't just move around the country as you want it.
Do you think maybe that the reason why they changed it was to combat maybe rising travel costs for, the teams and stuff? Like maybe just because at the time they changed it, the gas prices were really, really high. And like, so airline tickets got really, really expensive too. So it was like, let's just see the same teams. It'll save us money in travel.
Absolutely, I think so, especially because like I said, we've seen Sharks LA. I mean, worst case scenario, that's a bus ride.
Yeah,
Versus,
right.
I know in years past, I think in 2 or 3 straight first round series, Chicago and Vancouver played. So not only is that a long distance, but that's also the crossing the border thing,
Right.
which really slows things down. And every little extra mile on the plane, it adds wearing to the body. And like I said, I think the new format is good for, you said travel and I said creating rivalries, but I think the 1 versus 8 keeps it interesting for different reasons, if that makes sense.
Completely agree. All right, so wait, are we okay? Let me get this up on here as we, I think, stalled enough for it. So the Sharks go to 85 points on the year. They have a 7-point lead now on Idle Edmonton and 9-point lead on Anaheim. They now all have the same amount of games left to be played. In fact, everybody except for Calgary has 17 games left. Calgary is ranked below and has a wild card spot due to them having played one more game than the Anaheim Ducks. So that's why you have that discrepancy. Kings are just a point out of the second wild card, which is held by St. Louis. So you got that. In Vancouver, there were some talking on TSN 1040 today. We're only 6 points out of a playoff spot. We can make a run. Okay.
Just a question for you, Puck Guy.
Sure.
Did you say Vancouver?
Oh boy.
AJ's not here. He can't stop us.
Yes, somebody did say Vancouver, and Bodker had a short to the house. So I like to say on the Canucks Radio Network. There you go. So pretty much, if you're looking at it as AJ's bugging me in the DM chat, for the Sharks to win the Pacific Division, the most amount of points right now that one of their opponents would be Edmonton. They're at 78 points with 17 games left. So 17 times 2 for each, if they were to go on a 17-game winning streak, would be 34, which would put the Oilers at 112. You would need one more for that, so 113. So the magic number for the Sharks to win the division would be 28. So 28
Yay.
points, a combination of points gained by the Sharks or points lost by the second place person or team, I should say, would give the Sharks the Pacific Division title for the first time in 6 years. So
we remember how that one went.
Yeah, 2010-11.
I wasn't here.
No. You
I was
weren't.
still refereeing roller derby. I'm like, yeah, woofda, woo.
Gotcha. All right. I was trying to finish this. So here's a behind-the-scenes look at the graphics on Pucknology After Dark, folks.
Wow.
So, and screw it. We're just going to go like this, okay? There we go.
We'll do it live.
We'll do it live. All right. So here's the playoff race as we stand at this moment. So the Pacific, of course, the top 3 teams in each division get in automatically. So you have the Sharks, Oilers, and Ducks from the Pacific. The Central would be Minnesota, Chicago, Nashville. The wild cards right now are Calgary and St. Louis. I can't do this. I gotta have it cleaned. Sorry, folks. A little more behind the scenes action. When This is what happens when Jumbo scores 1,000 assists.
Well,
Throw
at least he
everything
closed
off.
all of his porn tabs.
Hey, I do not have any porn tabs.
Open.
Wow.
You can reset your AOL password later. Let's go.
Oh my God, shush. Both of you. All right, so there you go. So Sharks, Oilers, Ducks in the Pacific, Minnesota, Chicago, Nashville in the Central, Calgary and St. Louis hold the final 2 wild cards. As you can see in the hunt, you still have a bunch of teams all the way down to pretty much Vancouver, realistically, technically speaking, Colorado, and Arizona are all but fini kaput.
God, Colorado is shit this year, man.
And AJ says, can you change the points in games remaining for Colorado to ha and ha instead of 37-18 on the clock?
Just rip. Just rip. That's just all you need to put.
Or just change points in games remaining to LOL.
Well,
or the mathematical percentage they actually have of making the playoffs.
They are still technically alive. They could possibly be eliminated by the end of Wednesday.
Whichever comes first.
Oh, jeez. Yes, or the mumps. Absolutely. All right, so
Central Division is just brutal. All 3 of those teams are brutal. Sorry, I'm just staring at this.
No, you're. That's what it's here for. I mean, it's basically a Minnesota-Chicago fight for the division title to take on either St. Louis or Nashville. That being said, the season ended today, which we've been saying since the first Saturday of the season began. San Jose will take on the top wild card, so it would be San Jose versus Calgary. You talk about teams that we kind of root for. Who will AJ Strong root for in that series? Because we all know how much he likes Calgary.
Yeah, but he's never dyed his hair red during playoffs. He dyes his hair teal. Okay, calm down.
I think if anything, he would be really subtle about it. Like dye the hair teal, got the jersey, get some teal Nikes or whatever. But he'll have like one Flames like keychain or something, and that'll be it.
Oh my gosh. So you have that. The other matchups would be Edmonton versus Anaheim, Minnesota versus St. Louis, and Chicago versus Nashville. So that would be quite interesting. But meanwhile, I mean, LA's still in it. Winnipeg is still in it. Come on, Winnipeg. Although you got a tough week this week. Sharks, Penguins, and Flames. Not an easy week. Dallas wins, vaulted them over Vancouver in the standings, so they're still in the thick of it. Vancouver hanging on for dear life. The Desert Dogs still have a shot, and yes, Colorado still has a shot too, barely.
So you're saying there's a chance?
It means that there's enough in the bottle left for one more shot. That's what he's saying.
Pretty much. So I guess they're going to have a ceremony on Thursday as well. So the Sharks just tweeted this out. In addition to the puck giveaway, there will be also a pregame ceremony celebrating #Jumbo1000 on Thursday. So you're gonna get your tickets now, or just mail me a puck. So let's check in the chat to see what everybody's making fun of.
Good question. Who will get screwed out of the next EA NHL 17 or the EHL NHL 18 cover?
Oh, Christian. Hi, Christian. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in.
This is Burns.
I was going to say, I think it's going to be Burnsy that gets the nomination.
Dude, San Jose gets shafted on that cover 2 years in a row. Like, is that even permissible? No. Like, people will go, no.
I could see that happening. It depends on who's up against Burns, because if they put
Austin Matthews,
they put up Laine, Matthews, or McDavid up against Burns. Oh shit! Good luck. Yeah,
no, seriously.
So that's gonna be tough.
Sorry, Burns.
Sorry, Burnsy. Sleepy Mofo. Winnipeg is gonna be legit in the next few years. If they can find good goaltending now, they'd be in good shape right now, I think.
Yeah, I think their one holdup is, like you said, their goaltending. I mean, Connor Hellebuck, despite what his numbers may tell you, does not hella suck. Ha ha ha.
Dad jokes. Wow.
All right, guys, see you tomorrow.
Ew.
But you know what? He's a rookie, and he's a rookie goalie, so those things obviously take time. But they have good defense, they have good goal scoring, very fast, very good team. So I don't know who you just said it in the chat, but whoever said it, I agree with them. Winnipeg will be good eventually.
Yeah, no, they're going to be a legit team. With I think maybe next year, they find a good goaltender. I think they could be in a good run.
Morrissey is defenseman, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, and who's his defensive partner?
It's Trouba, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say it's Trouba.
Morrissey Trouba is like, man, it's like I know that we have Brent Burns, which is sort of like Morrissey and Trouba in one person, but holy moly, they are really essential to the engine that drives the Winnipeg Jets. If that's the future of defensemen, this game is going to change completely.
Just picture what kids are seeing Burnsy do right now. I mean, that's going to be unreal.
Yeah,
I'm sure Don. Good.
But like Morrissey Trouba, I mean, yeah, Trouba is incredible, but like just having that pair it's like Burns and Burns, not Burns and Martin.
And they're so young too, is the thing.
Young.
Yeah. I mean, Winnipeg's an up-and-coming team, and they're going to be unreal down the road, for sure. So, like I said, the NHL GMs are meeting to talk about rules. I'll go to both of you. Some of the things that they've been talking about, kind of turning out the goal posts. Talking about 3 points for regulation win, 2 points for an overtime win. I think they're even talking about offsides. What do you... Damn it, AJ, stop it. I gotta turn my phone off.
For those of you who don't know, AJ is hardcore trolling Puck Guy on Twitter DMs right now.
Yes, that's great. Thanks. But what's one rule you would like to see them alter or change? I'll start with Hockey Jerk.
You know what? I don't know if I want them necessarily to do 3 points for a regulation win or just get rid of the loser point. But either way, they need to pick one of those, because I'm tired of seeing these really shitty teams like Anaheim, who should be in a wild card spot or in a division spot because they have 10,000 overtime losses. And it's the same thing with Vancouver last year. Vancouver was crap by Thanksgiving, but they were still in the hunt because they had 1 million overtime losses. And offsides, I think what they're looking at is the whole, yes, he's technically onside, but his foot is up, and I think they're looking at that. Honestly, I think they should make the blue line smaller, if you ask me. Or if anything, move it further away, make the neutral zone smaller. Something's got to be smaller.
Yeah, I think they were talking about the neutral zone being even smaller.
Because, and you talk about, or they talk about, we got to increase scoring and all of this, but, theoretically, you make the neutral zone smaller, there's more room to cycle the puck. You're not going off sides as much. I hope they don't get rid of offside goal challenges, because I like seeing people upset.
Really?
That's the jerk in me, but I love seeing people get upset.
Thank goodness. Rocket, what would you suggest?
All right, so I haven't been around too long, and I don't really know too much about the constructs of the rules outside that I've read them. On paper they're a little bit different because you can interpret them how you wish. The thing that I've noticed, and I think Hockey Jerk said this a little bit about the loser point, is I personally would just get rid of loser point completely. Mm-hmm. But just to make it fun, and to reward a team to reward a goalie for having and a defensive, core for having an outstanding evening is instead of a loser point, you give a shutout point. So you get an extra. If you win, you get 1 point. If you win in a shutout, you get 2 points. And no loser point. It would be weird, but I think it would be fun. Makes more sense.
That would be more incentive for a nice defensive shutdown play.
Yep. But would that make for boring teams that are defensive and just boring? Or would that be?
That's the other part too. Is that it's a double-edged sword. They're trying to increase the offensive of the game, but would that not be a good thing to have a shutout point? I don't know. It would be interesting. I would think, especially down the road, could be like around this time of the season, you could see a lot more teams kind of going into a neutral zone trap, depending on their status in their standings. So that's quite interesting. Let's take a look at the chat. Let's see. Rocket for president. All right. So yeah, what the heck? UCI double HF rules 3 points for regulation, 2 for overtime, 1 for loss. To me, I think you just go back. I say you say F the shootout. You go to three.
Don't say ties. Don't say ties.
Go 3-on-3 twice, and then you end in a tie. I'm sorry.
No.
No.
You know who would like that? NHL ties.
No.
Gotcha.
Okay.
No.
I think every game should have a winner and a loser. Like, I just think that's how it'd be. I don't think ties make sense, but I do like the idea of, double 3-on-3, and you know what? I even said, when they were first talking about changing the overtime, what's so crazy about, 10 minutes of 3-on-3? Because even with 10 minutes, you're still going to get games that go to a shootout, and after 10 minutes, I think that's okay. But at least with 10 minutes, you have more time. I mean, you have more time to score, obviously, but one of the things I read when they were talking about overtime rules is, they're concerned that 5 minutes isn't enough time to get a play developing. I mean, how many times have we seen, the Sharks finally get the puck into the zone and the overtime is over?
Yeah. No, right on the head there. Big time.
10 minutes of overtime and then Rochambeau for the winner. Yep, 10-minute 3-on-3.
Mm-hmm.
I would be curious to see how many games, how many matchups after 10 minutes, how many of those overtimes would end in a tie. I don't think that many.
And I mean, if you think about it, I mean, you could kind of also play the mindset card, because say, for a tie, you both just get like 1 point and that's the end of it. It could be an incentive to, be more on the attack and try and score an overtime goal, as opposed to getting into the last minute and being like, okay, we'll ride it out to a shootout.
Yeah. And that's where I think you could try this. How about this? You have a loser point if the game ends in overtime, and then you go to a shootout and you only have 1 point to play for. You don't get 2 points for the win. You only get 1, and the loser gets nothing.
That's
I like this one.
Important.
Mm-hmm.
EACNT. I don't know how you would say that, but they say 2-on-2. I think that would be fun.
Ooh.
Who would your 2 be?
Especially, well, picture a team like, Edmonton throws out like McDavid and Draisaitl, and then you get the Sharks and they throw out like Thornton and
Bodker.
Pavelski. Like,
See, I would put
McDavid and
Colorado
Draisaitl.
throw out?
Colorado would put out what, McKinnon and
Rantanen,
Shane
probably.
were, yeah.
All right, who would Carolina? Exactly.
Stahl and
Aho.
Teravainen. So,
Oh, man.
well, they're going to be working on. They'll be talking about this throughout the week, and will be interesting to see how this one shapes up. But as we look forward to Thursday night against Washington, what are you looking forward to? Rocket.
I'm looking forward to more Dylan points and Sharks win.
All righty. Hockey trick.
I think this game is going to be a measuring stick game. I mean, Capitals are best team in the league, and I'm curious to see what the Sharks can do against the best team in the league. I think it'll be good to see where they're at as a whole.
Yeah, it'll be another true test, potential Stanley Cup final preview. So we'll see how that works out. Again, if you missed any of this, you can get the audio on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, TuneIn, MySpace, all that good stuff. You can also check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, SoundCloud, and the Pucknology Writers Room YouTube channel. More news and opinions, hit up pucknology.net for all that information. Final thoughts, Mr. Hockey Jerk.
My final thought is that the latest and greatest episode of the Pucknologists will come out the day after we record it, which is to be determined, but keep an eye out for that. I don't know what we're going to talk about, but I imagine it'll be fun. Back to you, Eric.
Thank you very much. Rocket.
My final thoughts for this week. I was really pleased with this game. I know that this month is really tough for all the teams, not just the Sharks, but because I like the Sharks more than anybody, I'm going to focus on them for a minute and say that they're going through some things, and I think that they're doing a good job of it. And Michael Haley is a lot better than people give him credit for. That's all.
AJ, because he stopped DMing, now he's texting me. Mascots go on road trips after 10 minutes of 3-on-3 death match between mascots and center ice. Oh, gosh.
Sleepy Mofo in the chat says that on the next Pucknologists, we can talk about 1,000 assists. I mean, we'll see. I don't know if that's that impressive. I mean,
whatever.
12 guys before him have done it. I mean, he's not the first.
Yeah, you know.
All right.
And they probably did it faster and not on an empty net.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Oh, jeez. All right.
This has been a Pucknologist takeover.
Yeah, that's true. Hey now. With that,
Eric, who is your third star?
hang on. Wait a minute. Hang on. Oh, gosh, why do you have to drop that now? Oh, gosh. Who's my third star? My third star is Joe Pavelski with 2 goals. Hey, Hockey Jerk, what's your second star?
My second star is AJ for not coming on here and kicking our ass for making fun of what we do.
And Rocket, who's our first star?
Our first star of the game is Mr. Aaron Dell for putting on a stellar performance and proving once and for all to everybody who doesn't know, he is our backup tender, and he's a damn fine one. We're proud to have him here in San Jose.
That's right. With that, I'm about to go find a way before AJ kills me. And until then, keep it real, keep it tight, keep it real tight, and we'll see you next time.
He's good.